Oh, welcome to your 2025 Vision Setting Workshop with Pro Organizer Bootcamp. It has been a minute since I have been live or done any sort of live workshops for my community. So I wanted to hop on here in celebration of hitting 400 students in our Pro Organizer Bootcamp course. That's my course on Udemy. It's only $19.99 and it's titled How to Start a Professional Organizing Business in 30 Days. That just hit 400 students. So yay, that's like a huge milestone for me. I remember making it and thinking, oh my gosh, is anyone going to buy this or find it? And all those imposter syndrome type things that we'll talk about here in today's session. But 400 students there, and then 1,000 students in our Pro Organizer Bootcamp Facebook group, which is awesome. So thank you for making this community what it is. I know that I've been a little bit MIA lately. I've been raising my 13-month-old, running a vintage boutique here in Oklahoma City. I started a few new business ventures in the last couple years. So that's why you haven't seen me as much, but I'm happy to be here today. And again, if you're just catching us now, feel free to comment below where you're located, what your business name is, anything you want to share. So I am Melissa Merrill. For those of you that may have not had a touch point with me in a one-on-one coaching call or in a previous live webinar, a lot of you listen to the podcast or a lot of you have watched past YouTube videos, but it's really cool to get to be here live with you today. If you have questions throughout the session, feel free to pop them into the comments and I'll be looking at them kind of towards the end of the session, maybe not in real time. A little bit about me. So I created Pro Organizer Bootcamp because I ran a professional home organizing company in San Diego for over 10 years. And along that time, a lot of it was a side hustle. I was also working in human resources for corporate Fortune 100 companies. And specifically doing a lot of learning and development workshop facilitation. So this is what I love to do, is the speaking and the coaching and the presenting and the teaching. My bachelor's degree is in sociology. I have an NLP certification as well as a somatic coaching certification. I have a book called Pivoting with Purpose available on Amazon. I'm a course creator. Like I mentioned, we just hit 400 students in that course. My YouTube channel has over 150 videos and my podcast has over 80 episodes. I also, of course, love all things time management and organization, as probably most of you do too, if you're tuning in and you're either an aspiring organizer or you already run a professional organizing company. Then you're probably just like me. You're the same type of weird where you love all things goal setting, new planners, new year, new vision setting, and all that stuff. So a question for you, and feel free to comment with your business name and what you're excited about in 2025. And then while you're doing that, thinking about what you're excited about in 2025, go ahead and share it in the comments. And I'm going to check the comments just to see if we have anything going on in there. Looks like we have a few people watching. So perfect. That is working on Facebook. I don't think I was able to get the Instagram live to work, but that's fine. I'll be resharing this content as a replay available in the Facebook group. So if you're not already in the Pro Organizer Bootcamp Facebook group, make sure you get in. It's just facebook.com/groups/Pro Organizer Bootcamp. Okay, and looking at my YouTube, I think it should be in there as well. So I'll be trying to check comments on all platforms, but let us know 2025, what are you excited about? Feel free to comment with your business name. So the areas that we're going to review today are specifically in business and career. That's going to be our focus in this session. Other areas that you can review on your own after today's session, or if you maybe already did, right? We're at January 10th. We're in a new year. We're 10 years. It feels like 10 years into the new year with everything going on in the world. We're 10 days into the new year. So some other areas that you might want to look at if you haven't already: intellectual, mental, is there a course you want to take? Is there a book you want to read? Is there a podcast that you want to subscribe to learn more about? Financial, right? Who doesn't want to make more money? Everybody does, especially in this economy with inflation and all the things. So what are your financial goals? Relational and social goals. Do you want to be, more social, go to more networking events, do more stuff with your kids, be more present in your family life, reach out to those friends that you've lost touch with? What does that look like for you? Faith and spirituality, and then health and fitness and wellness. So today, again, we're going to be focusing on business and career, specifically your professional organizing business or your pivot to starting a business, your pivot to going from side hustler to full-time organizer, whatever that looks like for you. That's going to be our focus today. So quick reflection, and I want you to comment if you feel comfortable sharing. Feel free to pause this as well if you're catching the replay and you want to, take some time to digest this. In your business, what went well in 2024? So what do you want more of in 2025? Did your TikTok go well, or your Instagram go well, or your email marketing? You built your email list and you want to keep that going, or you got 10 amazing word of mouth referrals and that was your best new clients that you got, so you want more word of mouth referrals. What is it for you? Take a second to think about what went well in 2024 and what do you want more of in 2025. So take a second to jot that down in your notes app or on your computer, or if you have pen and paper handy. And if you're tuning in, feel free to just drop me a comment and let me know that you're here. I see myself presenting and I see that we have quite a few watchers, but let me know if those comments are working. Okay, so what went well in 2024? What do you want more of in 2025? On the other hand, the hand that's maybe not as pretty and not the things that we want to take a look at. What didn't go so well in 2024? What could have been better? What do you want less of in 2025? Did you get a bad Google review? Did you get a nasty client that you had to fire? Did you get somebody that didn't pay their bill? Did you get a lot of turnover with your staff if you're one of those organizers that has a team? Did you spend too much on gas and mileage and you want to, siphon down your radius of your service area? So think about what didn't go so well in 2024 and what you want less of in 2025. Give that just a minute there. Looks like Instagram and good to go. Just checking comments. Looks like Jenny's here, Sandy's here, Sibo's here, Danielle's here, Catherine's here. Okay, yay. I'm glad that y'all popped in and let me know that you are on the live. So what went well in 2024? What didn't go so well? Think about this more after today's session, because I'm sure you're going to want to dive deeper into that. So what is your vision for your business in 2025? If we don't actually sit down and think about these things, 5 years can fly by, 1 year can fly by, 3 months can fly by, and we don't have these strategic goals, this actual vision, this clear, concrete strategy of this is what I want in my business, this is what I want less of, this is what I want more of, and this is where I'm going, right? A lot of times we don't stop to even think about these things. We just go, 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 go. And it's, constant trying to add people to the email list and post on Nextdoor and post on Yelp and post on Google Business and blah, 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 right? It gets crazy. So really taking just an hour sometimes is all it takes to sit down with your journal, set those intentions. Maybe you have a local group that you want to be part of. So a little bit of background. I am the chapter leader of our Oklahoma City Rising Tide Society chapter. This is a organization that's global. It's a nonprofit. There's over 500 global chapters around the world. And I ran the chapter in San Diego way back in 2018 for a while, loved it, came to OKC here recently and realized that we didn't have a chapter here. So I just started my own group in Oklahoma City last October. So we're on our 4th meeting. This was our 4th meeting that I just ran for my group earlier this week. And so that's kind of how this all came about. I was like, you know what, this would be really valuable content for the people in the Pro Organizer Bootcamp community. So that's why I'm here today. But joining a group like Rising Tide Society in your local environment, your local neighborhood, joining here in OKC, we have an OKC Women in Business group. You can go on Eventbrite, you can go on Meetup in your city and try to find those groups if you're not already in some sort of connected community already. I love that obviously COVID is over. We're in 2025. It's crazy. Oh my gosh, 5 years have gone by since that crazy pandemic time. But are you getting belly to belly with people? It's one thing for me to be on these YouTube videos or for you to, listen to other people's podcasts or attend one conference a year, right? But it's different when you can have that local community that knows your local market. So, are you in Utah? Are you in Arizona? Are you in Maine? Are you in Nebraska, right? Every city, every town, every state has their own demographics, their own types of clients, their own wealthy versus non-wealthy people in certain neighborhoods, all that stuff, right? So if you can get connected in an accountability or peer group in your local neighborhood, that's going to be the best thing for your growth in 2025, in my opinion. And I might be biased because I'm a chapter leader of Rising Tide Society, but if you want to check that out, it's risingtidesociety.com to check out where the local chapter is in your area. And that's a free group to join, free membership. It's not like a BNI where you have to pay $250 a year or $500 a year. So what is your vision? This is why we're doing this. We are setting our intentions. You're going to do some journaling after this. I'm going to give you some homework and think about what are those accountability or peer groups that you can join. Not a group for organizers, but a group for whoever entrepreneur type people are in your area. So in order to set our intentions, we kind of thought about what went well last year and what we want to see this year, and what didn't go so well last year and what we don't want to see again. What is that feeling that you want to experience in your business? Give that a second of thought and feel free to pop in the comments if you want to share with us. What is that feeling? Is it freedom? Is it flexibility? Is it passion, purpose? What's that feeling that you want to experience in your business? And remember that setting intentions and checking in on goals is a daily practice. So we're going to get into some more specific goal setting strategies. A goal without a plan is just a wish, right? That's why we're sitting down. That's why we're taking this time. That's why you're going to take at least an hour after this session in the coming days or weeks, definitely before January is over, to really think about these things in your business and to set those building blocks in place so that 2025 can be your best year yet when it comes to business. An idea not written down is just a dream, right? A lot of us have ADD or ADHD, or we have kids, or we have crazy stuff going on. We have a full-time job. We're trying to do this on the side. If you have all of these ideas and they're circulating and you're not writing them down and you're not treating them as strategic core goals, what are you doing? Those ideas are just going one ear and out the other. An idea not written down is just a dream. A goal without a plan is just a wish. So feel free to pop in the comments. What is that feeling that you want to experience in your business? Another question here. A lot of people set a word of the year, right? They say, I want family to be my focus this year, or travel, things like that. Do you have a word of the year for this year? Maybe you thought of it last December, around Christmas time, around the holidays. Hopefully took some time to rest and relax from your clients and from the busy grind of the holiday season. Maybe you've thought about a word of the year, or maybe you had a word of the year last year. If you have a word of the year this year or last year or even past years, feel free to share that in the chat and I'll give you some background on that. So sometimes it might be easier to look back and think of your word of the year at the end of the year. So I know for me, it's easier for me to look back, hindsight is 2020, and think, what did 2019 look like? 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. What have all of these years looked like towards the end? Like, I'm on the precipice of 2025. We're 10 days into the year. I don't know what this year is going to hold. I wish I could say, quarter one, I'm going to have this many clients, and quarter two, I'm going to make this amount of money. And by the end of the year, this is going to be my forecasted growth. I'm not that type of person. I'm not a math person. I'm not a CPA. I'm not a tax person. I'm not a number crunchy type person, logical, analytical. I'm creative, right? I need that space to nurture my creative side, to be free, to be able to pivot, and to be able to evolve my business obviously, over these past few years, you've seen me be an organizer. Then you've seen me be an organizer coach. You've seen me become an author, a course creator, a podcaster, a YouTuber. I do a lot of different things. And most recently, I'm a mom and I'm a boutique owner. So totally different from where I started in my entrepreneurial journey. Sometimes where you start out is not where you end up, right? So my personal words, and again, feel free to drop in the chat or the comments your word of the year, or if you have past words of the year, these are mine. 2019, it was reset. 2020, it was pivot. It's the year that I wrote my book, Pivoting with Purpose. I think a lot of us made a major pivot or 2 or 5 in the year 2020. 2021, my year was awaken. 2022, my year was adapt. 2023, my year was evolve. Last year, my word was shift. And this year, my word is redeem. So lots of really cool words. Success, freedom, awaken, energy, boundaries. Love all these words that are popping into the comments. Thank you for sharing. So think about that. If this isn't something you've ever done, if you've never said a word of the year, I encourage you just to look back at your past few years. Maybe it's the past 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and just kind of think like, what happened that year? Again, sometimes we don't take the time to actually sit back and reflect. We just keep going, and running around like chickens with our heads cut off, right? We need to sit down and be strategic and look. Sometimes it helps to move forward by looking back, right? So I encourage you to take a look at those past years. Set smarter goals. So if you've ever seen one of my time management workshops, you know that I talk about SMART goals, and specifically I talk about smarter goals. So most of you have probably heard of SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable or achievable, relevant or realistic, timely or time-bound. These are various differentiators in each one, but evaluate and readjust is the important part. So say that you're sitting here, you joined our live session today. Again, thank you so much for joining and being engaged and, welcoming me back into the community after I've been a little MIA. But you're here and you're thinking about, what do I want in 2025? Are you going to make those things specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, timely, or time-stamped? How does that look for your business? I used to run a monthly goals thread in our Facebook group. And every month I would say, okay, it's September, it's October, it's November. What are your goals? Share them with us. Let's hold you accountable. I do a check-in mid-month, and then I do a check-in at the end. Where are you at? Did you hit those goals? So many times, members in the Pro Organizer Bootcamp Facebook group say, I want more clients. Well, duh, who doesn't want more clients? Or they say, I want to make more money in my business, or I want to leave my full-time job, or I want to be able to spend more time with my kids, so I need to hire somebody, right? That's great to have that goal, but how are you making it smart? So what is the number one New Year's resolution that most people set? What's the number one New Year's resolution? We're in January. What are people doing when they're setting those New Year's resolutions? Number one is health and fitness, lose weight, get fit, go to the gym more, right? So if I were to come to anybody in our group, Abigail, Jenny, Sandy, and say, hey, I want to lose weight. Okay, great. What are you going to do about it? Hey, I am going to join the gym down the street. I'm going to hire a personal trainer and work with them 3 times a week. I'm going to track my macros and my calories in my Fitness Pal. I'm going to weigh myself once a week to check in. And I'm going to lose 40 pounds by November 1st, 2025. That sounds a lot more smart than just, I want more clients. I want to lose weight. I want to leave my full-time job. I want more time with family, right? What are those brass tacks, those specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, timely pieces that need to go into your goal? It's really nice and fluffy to say, I want to feel freedom in my business, purpose, energy, right? Success. But how does that look on paper? How does that look? What are your metrics? How are you tracking it? So evaluate and readjust is the other part of this. That's how you're going to make this a smarter goal. So again, if I say, I want to lose weight, and I have all of those measurements in place by November 1st, 2025, losing 40 pounds. What do I do when it's June and I've only lost 5 pounds? Do you think I'm going to hit that 40-pound goal? Probably not. But instead of throwing the baby out with the bathwater and just forgetting about it, going back to Netflix and Cheez-Its on the couch, I need to evaluate and readjust. And I need to say, you know what? I'm a new mom. I'm a busy business owner. I'm a wife. I've got a lot going on. I've got a house to take care of and pets and all kinds of things, right? Maybe this season of my life, I'm not going to be that CrossFit competitor I used to be. Or maybe this season of life, I'm not going to be able to make it 3 times a week to that personal trainer, right? So I need to sit down, evaluate, and readjust and move that goalpost. And that's fine. So I can say, hey, I'm going to lose 20 pounds by November 1st. And that way I'm not giving up. So hopefully that makes sense. Are you setting smarter goals? Or are you just kind of flying by the seat of your pants? Again, a goal without a plan is just a wish. Call in the SWAT team. So raise your hand, pop in the comments if you have ever done a SWOT analysis. This is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. You might have done this in a past life in your career, like if you worked a 9 to 5 job and maybe you did it within your team or your department at work. Maybe you've done it for, personal, for dating or for fitness or for health. But have you done this for your business? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. So strengths and weaknesses are typically internal, things that you have control of, and opportunities and threats are typically external, things that are external forces that are out of your control. So we're going to dive into all of these. Strengths. So you're analyzing your natural talents, your existing skills. So I always talk about God-given gifts, right? What are your natural talents? What are you naturally good at? Who were you as a little girl? As organizers, we're typically like the super clean, organized, responsible, clean your room, want everything neat and tidy, OCD, type A, type perfectionistic people. Or we were the total opposite and we grew up in a very chaotic environment. And then now we've learned how to help others create less chaos in their homes. So whichever you are, you're naturally organized, right? You naturally want to organize. You naturally have that desire to play Tetris and to put together spaces, and you have that eye and that knack for it. What else in your business are you good at? What makes you a good business owner? I'm really good at creating content. I'm really good at going live. I'm really good at showing up on camera. Or I'm really good at level setting with my client and being there for them and being their therapist, letting them cry it out and having that compassion and that empathy. What is it for you? What are your strengths in business? So take a minute to think about that. My word was evolve. Last year, my word was shift. And this year, my word is redeem. So lots of. Okay. So building confidence, acknowledging those strengths can help you feel more confident about tackling challenging goals. So we're setting out for 2025. Oh my gosh, what is this year going to look like? Last year was an election year. There was all kinds of stuff going on. This year, there's fires, there's bird flu, there's God knows what, right? You're going to have challenges no matter what. That's just life, right? But how are you using your strengths as superpowers to overcome those things? Are you choosing goals that fit your strengths? So instead of trying to do everything, are you delegating maybe what you're not good at or what you need help with? So let's talk about weaknesses. These might be areas where you lack skills or resources, where you might be less confident. Maybe you have some patterns or habits that have been holding you back and they're bugging you and you're like, okay, I need to work through this. Maybe you're seeing a therapist or hiring a coach or doing, a daily devotional or daily journaling exercises. What does that look like for you? Being realistic. So again, this isn't the pretty side of things that we like to look at. We like to be more ego driven as humans. We like to do the things that we're good at and stick to those comfort zones and those complacent zones. It's not so easy to take a fine tooth comb and go through your life and say, oh, I really don't like that about myself. Or I could really use some work in that area. I probably need to hire a coach for that. Or I probably need to read a book on that or start subscribing to a podcast on that. Right? So what are those areas for you? Take a second to think about that and to jot some notes down if you're taking notes. Success, freedom, awaken, energy. What are yours? Looks like somebody commented act. Yes, taking action, right? You've heard me in the past, if you've had any touch points with me, talk about action cures fear. So I love that comment. Thank you. So setting improvement goals. Again, you can create specific goals that are aimed at addressing or mitigating those weaknesses. Do you need to take a course? Do you need to hire a virtual assistant from Fiverr or Upwork to help you with your social media or your email marketing or your asking people for Google reviews, right? What is that? Creating support structures. So knowing those weaknesses can allow you to seek out support or external resources. Again, hiring a coach, hiring a therapist, hiring somebody in your local area to help you from a CPA standpoint. Tax time is coming up, right? Do you have a tax professional in your corner that's helping you get those deductions, helping you save money as a business owner? Or maybe it's tools that can help you improve efficiency. Are you using ChatGPT? Are you using Trello or Asana or Monday or project management tools to help you? Are you using MileIQ to help you track your mileage so that you can get those tax deductions? There's so many different tools, so many different people that want to be in your corner. You just have to reach out for help. Okay, so that was strengths and weaknesses. Again, we talked about how those two pieces are internal. Those are the things that you have control over. Okay, this is a weakness. I know what I'm going to do about it. This is how I'm going to take action in 2025. Opportunities. This is something that's external. So these are factors that are outside of your control that could help you achieve your goals. These might be market trends, changes in your industry, networking opportunities, new technologies, all those things. So, what are those growth areas for you? Is it attending that new networking event in your city that you've been hearing all about from your entrepreneur friends and you need to start going and making those connections? Is it taking that course? Is it opting into that new software or that new CRM or that new system? What's going to accelerate your progress? So take a minute to think about opportunities. One other thing that I like to call these, and you've probably heard me say this in the past, is the whispers from the universe. So, what are those whispers, those tiny little voices that are a little quiet that you're not listening to? Like that nagging feeling of like, oh, I really need to get better at TikTok because I know that it's performing well for other organizers. Or I really need to finally do my first Instagram live and show up on camera or do my first face on Instagram stories. Some people are still uncomfortable with that sort of thing. What are those little things that are opportunities? In business. So take a minute to think about that. Sandy says, I can create the ideas, but execution is hard for me. So, what's holding you back on the execution side? You might be a visionary, right? Like me, I talked about how I'm not logical, I'm not analytical, I'm not a numbers person, I'm not a math person. There's no way in heck I would have ever been a CPA or a tax person, right? I'm the creative. I want to constantly grow and evolve and nurture and do these cool things. But the execution needs to happen too, right? So you've got to figure out your own secret sauce for that. Is it a daily to-do list? Is it a project management system? Is it a virtual assistant that you're paying, $2 American that lives overseas, and to them in Bangladesh or in Siberia or in Ukraine, it's a whole lot of money that's going to make their whole day or their whole week, right? Are you hiring a VA? Are you doing a to-do list? Are you using project management software? How are you executing those big ideas and those big dreams? Are you hiring an assistant? I know that specifically in your business, you've hired people in the past. Do you have that team behind you that you trust? Trust is huge when you're delegating. Trust is huge when you're hiring a coach or a therapist, right? You've got to feel safe with the people that are around you. So who are those people that are in your corner that you can say, you know what, that person is really good at that. I'm going to let their star shine and give this over to them and pass the ball to that person, right? So what does that look like for you? And again, I'm always here for you if you want to talk more about that type of stuff. So opportunities could point to areas where you should improve or adapt to remain competitive in your field or your life. Are you at the point where you need to hire? Are you at the point where you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is working. I'm 6 months in business or I'm 1 year in business and it's finally time to start hiring because holy cow, I can't keep up with all these bookings. That's a great problem to have. But it can be really scary to be like, oh, I have this opportunity to hire somebody and I don't know how to do it. That's probably when you want to hire in a coach, hire in somebody that's a subject matter expert. Okay, let's talk about threats. So, threats include external challenges that may hinder your ability to achieve your goals. This could be competition. Okay, I just moved to a new city and I don't know anybody. And now I have to kind of restart my business and all my SEO and my Google page and blah, 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 right? It could be economic downturns. What have we seen over the past 5 years? We've seen the economy go cuckoo crazy. Changing regulations. If you listen to my move out of California and my move to Oklahoma, a big reason of that was an assembly bill that was passed that affected our 1099 contractor rules. So it affected my entire business model of hiring staff to help me as an organizer. Or it might be personal circumstances, right? You might be going through a divorce, a separation, getting married, going on a honeymoon, getting pregnant, having another kid. Maybe your kid has health issues. Maybe your parents are getting older, right? What are those things that are threats? Threats can sound like this word that is like, oh, this has to be a bad thing. It has to be a bad thing that I'm homeschooling my kids, or it has to be a bad thing that I'm freshly single, freshly divorced, and now I'm on the dating scene and I want to, find that next companion in my life. I challenge you to pivot your way of thinking about the word threat because we typically think of it as so negative. But what are those things that are just in your life right now that might be affecting your business? So take a minute to write those down. Take a second to think about that and to jot some notes down as you're taking that sort of thing. What are those little things that are opportunities? And then as you're writing that down, let me just read one more thing and then I'm going to get to one of the comments. So, anticipating obstacles. Are you resilient? Resilient might be a good word of the year for some of you. Are you recognizing that those potential threats could allow you to anticipate problems, right? Hey, I know that I'm going to have a baby in 9 months. Or, hey, I know that I'm going on my honeymoon in 5 months after I get married. Or, hey, I know that I have some international travel planned over this summer, right? What are those things that you can acknowledge and then set those goals with built in flexibility so that you can create those backup plans and so that you can stay resilient and agile? Agile is another really good word, an action packed word of the year. And then I want to get to something in the comments. So somebody said they find it hard to delegate. So you might have heard me say this on past podcast episodes. Send the baby off to daycare. As organizers, we're typically type A, we're typically OCD, we're perfectionistic, we're the goody two shoes in school. We want everything to be perfect and buttoned up and great. And our businesses are our babies, right? We don't want to give control of that. There's all those memes on Instagram that I'm sure you've seen. We just got through the Christmas period and it's like, I asked my family to decorate with me for the Christmas tree, and my kids kept putting the ornaments not in the right spot. Or my husband didn't understand that those two colored ornaments can't go next to each other, right? We are those people typically. And that's what makes us really good at our job. That's what makes us really good with our clients and get hired over and over and over again and have that repeat business. But at a certain point, we can't be control freaks. We can't manage every little tiny thing in our business. Once you reach a certain point where you're booked, you're busy, maybe you have 4, 5, 6 sessions a week. Oh my gosh, it's time to hire. It's time to start delegating some of those things. Maybe it's not hiring an actual organizer to be on the jobs with you, but maybe it's a VA, or maybe it's a project management software, or maybe it's a coach, or maybe it's somebody that's just like an accountability buddy in the Pro Organizer Bootcamp community or in one of the many other organizer communities that are available to you, right? So giving up control, that's a huge thing. I encourage you to explore that. And a lot of times it's a lot deeper than just, I am, scared to let this person go on a job on their own, or I'm scared to give my social media credentials to somebody overseas. A lot of times it's a lot deeper than that. So I encourage you to journal on that. How can I give up more control in my life? What are those little practice things? Can I let my husband put the dishes away the way he wants to put them away? Can I let my daughter play in the trash today and be okay with making a mess, or finger paint and get, stuff everywhere? What are those little things in your life that you can practice that muscle to start giving up control? So on the screen, what are you going to stop doing in 2025? And what are you going to start doing this year. Our choices compound into results, and it takes 21 times of doing things to make something a habit. So I got one of those walking pads that we've all seen on social media. I've used it twice, and I've had it since my birthday, which was in September. I haven't used it 21 times yet. It's not a habit. I need to make that a habit. That's one of the things on my goal list for this year. I still haven't lost my baby weight that I said I was going to lose last year. So 21 times. I need to get on that walking pad 21 times to literally exercise that muscle of this is my habit. This is my lifestyle choice. This is my 20 minutes where I have alone time. I listen to my podcast and I do my walking, right? I need to get back and better at that to make it a habit. So, what are those things? Take a minute here that you're going to stop doing in your life, in your business. And what are those things that you're going to start doing? Okay. And again, journal on this afterwards. Take that 1 hour of time at some point over the next week or so to really think about what do I want in 2025? What are my goals? What's my vision? What's my dreams? What am I stopping? What am I starting? If you are ready to dive deeper, then let's jump on a call. So I have a very limited schedule this month. Again, I've been kind of MIA from this community for the past year and a half, but I would still love to coach you one-on-one. I have a 30-minute private Zoom call with me available. You can head to bit.ly/productive organizer to submit your info. I'll review it. I'll get back to you, and then we'll schedule a call. The calls will be conducted January 12th through 30th, so only for this month. And I don't want you to miss out on this limited time exclusive opportunity to get affordable coaching. So I should mention these 30-minute calls are only $97 with me. Typically, my 4-week program is $997. But what I found is a lot of people just need that little kick in the pants, that little business boost, and that little kind of oomph to get them going into the new year, that little push. So if you'd like to book a call with me, you can head to bit.ly/productive organizer. You're not signing up for a time in there. You're just kind of applying and submitting your info. We'll talk about it, see if it's a fit, and then we'll move forward with scheduling. So again, bit.ly/productive organizer. And I'll drop that into the comments when we're done with today's session. Be sure to grab your freebies if you haven't already at proorganizerbootcamp.com. So again, I mentioned I have over 80 podcast episodes to listen to, 150 YouTube videos. Oh, there's over 1,000 members in our Facebook group. Get Clients Fast Guide is available to you, as well as the Consultations 101 Masterclass. And like I mentioned, I have 400 new students in that Pro Organizer Bootcamp course, which is only $19.99 on Udemy. And I have the Pro Organizer Bootcamp Vaults, which is only $23. All of that can be found at proorganizerbootcamp.com. And thank you so much for attending. I am really excited that I was able to dive back into this community and spend some time with you all today. And I hope that everybody has an amazing, happy new year. And let me know how I can help you. Again, bit.ly/productive organizer if you'd like to dive in deeper to this and have one-on-one time with a coach, with somebody who's been there, that's been doing this forever. All right. Thanks so much.